Are you a mid-20s female living on the North Shore? Do you drive a Suzuki Swift? Has anyone ever called you a basic bitch? Then I have the review for you. Hey team, in all seriousness, I was just having a joke there, but I have got the new Galaxy Fold 2, and now this is quite different to the Fold 1, which is why I was interested to look at it. So let's dive in and see what it's all about. And my first impressions with this is just going to be another fashion accessory, which for the most part it still kind of is, but it has got a few features that I did quite like that I thought I'd share with you. First of all, let's get the price out of the way. Currently on the Noel Leeming's website here in New Zealand, this is $3,499, which is significantly more than the Note or the Galaxy current flagships, which are better. Now, when I'm looking for a cell phone, the main things I look for is performance, power, and the camera. I'd always have to have the best camera available. Obviously, with what we do, we're always creating content, and sometimes you just want to be able to pull out your phone, double tap it, get a quick snap, and then that's your social media post. That's how hard we work here. Now, in order to do that, you obviously need to have the latest and greatest if you want to be good at it. And the other thing that having good quality images also gives you is the ability to edit them and crop them later, because if you're not a particularly good photographer, you can polish a turd quite easily. Now, this isn't flagship specifications at all. It's got a hand-me-down camera system. The battery life is not amazing. It's not terrible, actually, to be fair. But this just isn't a flagship device at all. And the way that I always gauge whether or not I like a device that I've got for review is how long my SIM card stays in it, and it's already back in my phone. My phone, for argument's sake, is a Samsung Galaxy Note 10. We got that for, actually that was a review. I didn't pay for that. But it wasn't given to me by Samsung either, so that doesn't count. But the point is, I actually do quite like Samsung. However, this device, not for me. Some of the benefits of this phone that I think are quite neat is that it is quite a multi-use device. There's a screen on the front. There you go, there's a screen on the front, and it's quite narrow, it's quite slim, but it's absolutely fine for content consumption. So if you're scrolling through Instagram, or you're sending a message, or things like that, taking calls, etc., doing basic functionality is definitely doable on this. However, if you're using the camera in this mode, it's going to give you some funky results. We'll get into that in a minute. But then obviously, the big deal is the internal screen as well, which is foldable. Now, I have found uses for this, but I've also found a lot of problems with it. The thing with this phone in particular is because it's got an unusual aspect ratio, i.e. the ratio between the height and the width of the screen, a lot of apps are having issues with it. For example's sake, say that you've got Instagram open in the open mode, you've got Instagram up, and then you go and close the phone, it'll actually crash Instagram because it's such a problem for it to try and understand the difference in the ratio by closing it. Now, this also is a problem with the camera, because if you take a selfie, as you're going to do if you buy this phone, with it closed, it's going to give you a very tall and skinny image. And my girlfriend's had a bunch of images that have been taken in that way, and they just look strange, and they don't fit particularly well into things like Snapchat or Instagram story, things like that. I have found some points where this is actually super handy though. In some gaming instances, it's actually quite nice to have that, like Angry Birds for example, but then like driving games for instance, you lose the sides of the image because it's making it as tall as it can, which means it can't be as wide as it wants to be, so you lose sides of the image. Every app's going to be a little bit different, and it's down to what's important to you. Do you want to use it for content creation? Do you want to use it for content consumption? Or are you just happy having a phone that people turn around and go, hey, that's a cool phone? Fundamentally, that's what you're paying the extra money for. As I said, the Note and the Galaxy S20 Ultra are both cheaper than this, and they are by far and away better devices in terms of performance and camera. So, personally, I wouldn't go ahead and buy one of these. I find it hard to recommend. I would say that the only reason that somebody is going to buy this phone is because it is a fashion accessory and it's a talking point, which it hasn't really been in my experience while I've had it. A couple of people that noticed my posts on social media, follow us by the way, said, hey, have you got that phone on you? Let's have a look. And then people want to see it. They want to know about the durability of the screen and the hinge and things like that. Speaking of the screen and the hinge, the screen does feel like it's quite durable, but it's got a bit of a rubbery finish to it. I'm not going to be scratching this up like jerry rig everything, but if you want to see what it really will take, I would say go check his channel out. The hinge is a hard one because we only ever get these devices for say 2 weeks, and I mean this has been to the beach, it's been in my pocket, it's been to the gym, it sounds fine, it doesn't feel like it, I mean it feels as strong as when I opened it. I actually can't even see any dust or anything in there either. Connecting it to my headphones, like for my earbuds when I'm driving, or the headphones at the gym, absolutely no problem. It's got the latest version of Bluetooth on it, so that's nice because it gives you the full spectrum of sound. It gives you a very high line level across the Bluetooth, which is actually quite important to me because if I'm at the gym and I've got my headphones on, I want to hear it. And the later generations of Bluetooth have just got a better line set over Bluetooth, which is great, and this does that. Actually, speaking of accessories, I think it's going to be quite hard to get a good durable case for this. I mean, you're paying a premium, and then as soon as you drop it, it's going to get scratched, it's going to get broken, and this will probably be quite expensive to fix as well because they're unusual size. Well, I guess they're all individual sizes. Sound on this when you're watching something like YouTube isn't amazing, but what I found in my experience is when you're holding the phone like this, the speaker ports right out the side here and it goes into your hand. So if you're holding it too close, you don't get any sound at all. The sound that's there when you are using it is perfectly fine. Again, the thing with this phone is it's nothing amazing in terms of what it's delivering you other than a talking point and a fashion accessory, which is why I made the basic bitch joke at the start. Now, if that's what you want to do, hey, go for it. If you've got the money to spend on a fashion accessory and you want to be the talking point of all your friends, I have no problem with that. For me, I would rather spend on performance and image quality. Those are the 2 things that are most important to me. Based on that, I would not buy this phone. No harm against you. If you do, call me. You're probably my type. And yeah, thanks for watching. This has been filmed at Playtech Studio, and we will see you next time.